The Colorado Buffaloes are ranked 16th in EA Sports top team rankings, but will they be a preseason top 25 team? Let's dive in. Let's go. Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday, everyone. Coming to you guys live from the Toyota Lounge. Driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. It's DNVR Buffs Prime Time. Presented by Illegal Pete's.
Just had Illegal Pete's.
Did you really?
Yep.
How was it?
It was really, really good.
It's been a minute for me.
I was about to hit you up, and then I just forgot.
It's all good. Well...
I'll tell you anything.
I know.
No.
I know.
Brandon brought Santiago's.
Okay. Santiago's.
Please. People are very mad.
I also love that it's RK correcting, just like, yeah, it's cool.
People are very mad.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because they're getting told the truth about the Colorado Buffaloes.
Oh, here we go. They're mad again today. I kind of thought they would have run out of steam yesterday.
Oh, no. Yesterday was just the start.
Okay. Tell me more.
So, we've been talking about it all week. EA College Football 25 has been putting out their, it's like rank week for them, whatever. They released the stadiums, offense, defense, all this stuff. Today we got overalls, power rankings.
Okay.
Colorado's ranked 16th in the country.
Now, I don't want to complain because I think this is great, but how do they have the average of being the 11th best team if you average the offense score and the defense score, but their overall is 16th? Riddle me that, Jake. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really not mad about it, but I was just curious if anyone knew, because it's not like our special teams isn't dope too.
When we did it yesterday, like when we averaged out the offense and the defense, right? It came out to 86.5.
Yeah.
So they're 87.
Something's weird, but I don't know.
They just rounded it up.
I know, but why would it be 16th if 86.5 was actually 10th?
That feels right to me. They're 8th in offense and 20th on defense.
I went to a concert last night.
Yes.
Had a time.
Yes.
A little flask of tequila in the saddle. And then I woke up this morning and was just kind of reading about people being mad. And I was like, I actually quote tweeted the rankings and had typed out Colorado ranked way too low.
You should have, bro.
And then I was like, do I really want to deal with this all day? And I think just, the after effects, little headache this morning. I was like, I don't know if I'm in the right mental space to have that bullshit in my mentions for the rest of the day. But I did think about it.
That's when you do the Harrison strategy of send, mute.
The old send and mute would have been a good one. But I only send those tweets to be able to relish in how mad it makes people. So I don't do the send and tweet or the send and mute because I want to see, I'm sending that to see people get upset about it.
Fair
I
enough.
might do it later.
I still think you should do it.
We're playing in that Madden tournament later.
Yeah.
Give me 2 libations and I might be ready for the smoke again.
Right. But yeah, Colorado's 16th. Georgia and Oregon tied at the top at 94. Alabama, Texas ranked 91. That's your top 4. Those are the only 4 teams in the 90s. I'm sorry. I'm reading the wrong one. Georgia 95 overall, Ohio State 93 overall, as well as Oregon. Bama and Texas are 92 overall, and then Clemson, Notre Dame, LSU are 90 overall. Those are your 90 plus overall teams.
All right. I haven't dove in. I know we've got the Phil Steele magazine up there. I don't know how anyone can read that. It's just so dense.
It's a lot.
A lot of people are mad that Clemson is ranked so high.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I guess they didn't add anyone from the portal, and Dabo's like a meme now.
Okay. Well, that's for sure. Okay. I forgot. Yeah, they were one of 2 schools that didn't add any portal players.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, Dabo.
Keep on fighting the good fight,
He's like
Dabo.
the newspaper that's like, we're not putting the newspaper online. It's called a newspaper.
Utah's the highest ranked Big 12 team at 10th overall with an 88. And then it's Colorado, 16 at 87. Kansas is at 22, and Arizona is at 23, as well as Oklahoma State at 24. All 3 of those teams have an 87 overall as well. So they're all ranked the same as Colorado.
This all goes into what we've been saying since the second Colorado joined the Big 12 Conference. The Big 12 Conference is going to be so fun this year.
Yes. Cannot wait.
It's the college football fans conference.
America's conference. Because of this is just where my mind naturally drifts. Do you think this will carry over to the actual rankings this year? Will they be a top 25 preseason team?
I've thought long and hard about this since you sent it to me about 20 minutes ago. And I feel more... So I guess I don't want to bury the lead here. No, I don't think so.
I agree.
But I feel more like the chances of it happening have gone up in the last 48 hours. Mm-hmm. And this is going to sound so dumb, but we give the people who vote on this shit way too much credit.
Right.
They're literally just voting off of previous history and vibes.
Yep.
And the reason I bring that up is because the person who has a vote in this saw all of this buzz around Colorado this week. And they're at least now asking themselves, is there something I'm missing? And they might take the chance of looking a little deeper into what they added to the portal.
Yeah.
Heck, again, this is going to sound really stupid, but these are just regular people. Someone might fire up a dynasty with CU.
Yeah.
And have fun and end up voting them in the top 25.
Sure.
That sounds really dumb, but this is the way that these people are doing this. Preseason rankings are one of the dumbest things ever.
Yes, I agree.
And the worst part about preseason rankings is that teams that you put in your top 25, you feel attached to them throughout the rest of the season. So you're giving them the benefit of the doubt. One of my friends calls it anchor bias.
Yeah.
It's they're anchored there now. They're going to really have to do something wrong for me to pull that anchor up and send them out of town. So I don't know if it'll happen this year. If it does, it's an absolute joke. But for years and years and years, Nebraska was just always thrown in there because
Nebraska, Texas, Michigan, no matter what's going on.
Yes, they're going to put them in there. And then you're trying to confirm that you were right as you watch these games. You're well, I know they only beat Georgia State by 14, but it could have been 28. You know,
right.
And so I don't think Colorado will be in there, but I legitimately think that they have a chance. I just think there's too many people who in the media who hate them.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna rank them, and it goes back to our thing about the large gap. I unfortunately don't think there's enough people, and I don't know who all has votes in this, but I don't think there's enough people on our side of the fence.
No, absolutely
to outweigh the people who are way on. They can't even see the fence from where they are.
Yeah. No, I mean you can find out who the AP voters are. Brian Howell is the Colorado one for us. I mean he did his work last year, put Colorado in there when he could, but yeah, he was the only one really after 3-0 to have any sort of optimism about the team.
Yeah,
it was all shitting on Colorado basically once they went down to Oregon. So, but I agree. I don't think that. I was surprised actually at how high they were ranked in the CFB 25 because I just didn't think they'd get any respect.
I know.
But it seems like EA actually went in, looked at who they added, looked at the type of players that they added, and this is what we have. And I think it's more on than off, honestly.
Well, and EA has been pretty transparent about how they built their rankings. They're basically saying like we're not doing the preseason top 25 rankings where we're just going off of vibes in the past. Like we put the work in. They talked with PFF, which love them or hate them, and I think most people probably have a negative outlook on PFF. You definitely can't say that they're not trying.
Yeah.
Like they're actually trying to put in work and watch the games. So I think there's a flaw in trying to put a number on athletes, which is PFF's essential fatal problem. But I know, like, I'm confident that they're actually trying to do the best they can rather than just like, all right, I've got one more spot here. Nebraska's good. Like, let me throw them in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did try to put in legitimate work to building these rankings, and I think that's cool. And credit to EA for what it's worth, they didn't have anything to base this off of.
No.
They don't have an existing game where they're like, okay, well, Travis Hunter was a 94 last year. Let's make him a 97 this year because he's probably going to be a little better. They had to start from complete scratch on player rankings. And I think it was smart of them to go to PFF where they're just like, okay, you have a giant database of you've been ranking the players already. Like, let's collaborate on this.
For sure. That comment there, I think the D-line will make the biggest difference this year. And we'll talk about the defensive line here in a bit. But that's the thing is, like, you go online, the narrative is that this roster hasn't improved at all. Like, they're still weak in the trenches, all this stuff. Like, they just simply don't know. No one's doing their homework on this team at all.
Yep. But in the end, as it relates to the preseason top 25, I think a lot of people will use last year against them and just say, like, I got to see it. And unfortunately, again, we're going to have, you've mentioned this a lot, even if they were to start 3-0, people are going to say, all right, well, we saw this last year. Well, let's see what happens when they get into the conference.
Yep.
I think we'll know pretty quickly, though. Honestly, I think we'll know in the first half against North Dakota State.
I agree.
Not how good the team is, but if we were right about essentially the improvements and the changes that they made to the team, like, to me, I'm just thinking two things. Can they run the ball? Can they stop the run?
Mm-hmm.
If those two things pop off in that first game, it doesn't mean that they're automatically going to do it the rest of the season. But I don't know if last year, if they played North Dakota State, if they could have run the ball against them. They couldn't run the ball against anyone.
Yeah, even their best games, they were hardly like 70, 80 rushing yards. Like, I think that's what they had against TCU. So, yeah, man, it's going to be fascinating. And I go back to the conversation we had yesterday with Scott about sacks. And if it just goes the way that we think it will, which is lower on sacks allowed and higher on sacks generated on defense, like those are just short of turnovers in terms of impact on the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that can flip the field. It can end a drive immediately. It's just, there's a lot of things just on the offensive line. If you're able to generate pressure and protect, that sets you up for success. And I think this team can do that.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to project history, which everyone loves to pretend like Coach Prime never coached a game before he got to Colorado.
Yeah.
But the arc of Jackson State when Coach Prime was there was year 2, dominant defense, dominant running game.
Right.
If those things happen for this team in year 2 at Colorado, you're going to see a just insanely improved football team because they didn't have either of those things last year. And those are obviously important characteristics of a team that is successful in any stage of football. You're going to throw the ball a lot. You have the best quarterback in the country. But if you can have a dominant running game, or at least a running game that teams have to plan for, it's going to make massive difference. And then the defense obviously is, defense wins championships.
Let's talk about the defensive line here. But first, shout out to our friends over at BetterHelp. There's a lot of people online who could use BetterHelp. A lot of angry people.
True.
Projecting their feelings on this Colorado football team, basically. But life is hard. Can't really blame them. We all need someone to talk to at some point. That's where BetterHelp, our friends, come in. You can visit them over at betterhelp.com/DNVR. You'll get 10% off your first month. It's all online. They'll hook you up with a therapist. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched, and you can switch at any time, no additional charge. But give it a try. Become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. Visit betterhelp.com/DNVR today. Again, 10% off your first month if you use that link. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/DNVR.
Sorry, I got a little distracted. I was just basking in the fact that someone could be so mad at about Colorado football that they would go into YouTube, find our show, click it, watch it, and then comment on it. Like, that legitimately brings me a lot of joy. Anyways, what else brings me a lot of joy is my Toyota. Best car I've ever owned. First Toyota I've ever owned. But it most certainly will not be the last Toyota I ever own. It's just a top-class vehicle. Love it. Haven't had any issues with it. Just a machine. I love the thing. So check out Toyota if you don't have one now. All of their different models. The new 4Runner is an absolute stunner.
Yeah.
So check it out. And if you're in Colorado like us, check out your Front Range Toyota stores. And there's got to be a location near you because they have AutoNation Toyota in Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR. I'm going to try to memorize the
CTA for that?
The Front Range Toyota stores. I think I can get those locked in.
Was there 8?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. You can do it.
That's easy.
I have faith in you. We expect you to have it down purely to memory by the time the season starts.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay. He said
Guarantee it.
He said it.
By the way, we are so close to being able to tell you guys about our plan for the season.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be the coolest thing we've ever done.
Yes. Can't wait. All right. I said we'll talk about the defensive line. Let's do it here. 247 Sports wrote up this list where top 20 defensive linemen and edge rushers landed ahead of the 2024 season. Of course, one of the biggest positions that I need on this team is exactly that. We already kind of talked about it. Stopping the run, generating pressure. Do you want to take a wild guess how many Buffs appear on this list?
What is the list again?
Top 20 transfer portal defensive linemen and edge rushers ahead of the 24 season.
2.
3.
Ooh. Are we in respect season all of a sudden?
Some people know ball out there. I know it's hard to believe right now, but there are some people who pay attention to know ball.
All right. 3 out of 20 is really good.
It's damn good. We'll start at number 18. Our guy, BJ Green.
Yep. BJ Green, man. What a dog.
I'll read a little bit of the blurb here. It says, Green offers ready-made playmaking ability to a unit that could use a veteran presence like his own. He played in 36 games throughout his Arizona State career and started all 12 last year. Racked up 11.5 TFLs and 6 sacks for his best year of college football to date. And it also mentions his commitment to Washington before Kalen DeBoer left for Alabama. So
yeah, people forget about that.
Don't forget about that.
Yep. Not just a stray cat off the street,
Exactly.
as most people like to act like all Colorado transfers are. Was committed to the national runner-up, and obviously, like you said, Kalen DeBoer leaves, comes to Colorado where he has a pre-existing relationship with Coach Prime, and I think is just set up to absolutely explode this year.
There were more one-on-one reps yesterday. I don't know if you saw those.
No.
Every day, BJ is just every day.
Hell yeah.
I mean, and it's like a different move, too. It's like a spin move. Like, he'll rip under.
He's got the rip, yeah.
He's got a little bit of bend to him, too. He can get around the edge. All right, number 14 is the next guy. Do you want to take a guess who it is?
Wait, so BJ was the lowest ranked guy on the team? Oh, I thought it was going to go like 18.
No.
Wow, okay.
Do you want to take a guess who's at 14 here?
Bach Bully?
Nope.
Deion Hayes.
Quincy Wiggins.
Oh.
Here's the blurb. Quincy Wiggins was a significant loss for LSU and perhaps an even bigger gain for Colorado. The rising defensive lineman left a noticeable hole in a Tigers defensive front that needs to take a step forward this season, but he also feels a similar need for the Buffaloes. The sample size on his production is still quite modest, as Wiggins played in 9 games with no starts as a true freshman last season. But across his 7 tackles and 1 stop behind the line of scrimmage, he showed the disruptiveness that comes with a 7-foot wingspan. Yes, sir.
7-foot wingspan. This isn't the NBA draft we're talking about.
And we will get to the NBA draft.
Yes, we will. Wow, I can't wait till these guys get pads on. Obviously, the offensive linemen, I think, are at a bit of a disadvantage without their pads. But I love watching these guys work. Quincy Wiggins being and I don't know if this is necessarily the exact role that they envision for him, but if he was like an interior pass rush, third down, or passing down specialist, it's kind of a scary thought.
That's where he's been rushing a lot in these player-led practices. Of course, they're player-led practices. But he's been from the 3-tech, man. And he's a young player, too. Like, he's going to get bigger.
Oh, yeah.
And you talk about a 7-foot wingspan in the frame. He's going to fill out, too. This could be just an absolute monster.
Well, and the 7-foot wingspan kind of makes you imagine him on the outside.
Yeah.
But he's so big that I wonder if he just doesn't quite have the quickness to be out there.
Yeah.
And if he just continues to add strength, could just be a kind of a freak on the inside.
I agree. The third and final player on this list comes in at number 11. Do you want to guess?
Did I already say his name?
I don't think you did.
Sammy Sachs?
Sammy Sachs.
Let's go. Finally. I feel like I've been, fighting for Sammy Sachs to get some recognition.
Colorado, again, put together a massive transfer class and picked up a gem in Samuel Okunlola. The former Pitt lineman is the crown jewel of Deion Sanders' second portal haul. And while he alone would bring improvement to the Buffalo's defensive play, he also projects to get plenty of help from his fellow newcomers on the front 7. Okunlola tied for the team lead in sacks last season at Pitt with 5 and still has 3 years of eligibility remaining as a budding star.
It's so interesting. Every kind of like publication or whoever's talking about this stuff kind of has different favorites. I think it's a good sign for Colorado.
Yes.
I forget who it was, but someone recently had like Deion Hayes ranked as the highest, the best transfer that they got in that group.
Phil Steele had him as the highest ranked defensive player is what it was, I think.
So there you go. And he's not even on this list.
No.
Which is really interesting. Bach Bully, I think, is going to make a massive impact for this team.
Yep.
He's not on the list. We talked about Torian Carter. We talked about Big Anquin Barnes.
Yep.
There's so many options here that you could point to. And it's another reason why it's so hard to project Colorado, because someone like that's favorite player might not even start.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. So maybe that's what EA saw when they were doing their work. They actually paid attention to the transfer class, and they looked at the defensive linemen and the offensive linemen and said, oh, this is different.
Yep.
I saw someone asked how old Quincy Wiggins is. This will be his 3rd year. He redshirted 1.
So he's got at least
2, I think.
But
I mean, he's
played 1. This will be 1.
Maybe young's
So
not the right
he has
word.
3.
He's very
this 1
green.
and 2 more.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's very green, though. Like, he hasn't been seasoned in terms of game experience yet.
Yep.
So there's a lot of room to grow there. Scoreboard update, Yaya. Can you pull up these pictures? Jimmy Searfrost has named the sign the scoreboard, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed.
Okay.
You want to know what he called it?
Not really.
Okay.
What do you call it?
Doug.
Why?
I don't know. That's just what he calls it.
Dumb.
These are from Jimmy.
There's a statue of Fred Folsom right underneath it. Just call it Fred.
You need to talk to him then. But they're starting to put up all the paneling. Take a look at that. The screens are in on the outside. There should be one more picture. Yeah. There you go, right up close.
Wow. I do appreciate Jimmy for the hard work that he's doing on the ground in Boulder. That thing's going to look sick. And I still just have this vision of those out-facing TVs.
Oh, yeah.
Like, being the place where students who couldn't get tickets just gather to watch the games.
Yes, man.
That would be electric.
Can't wait. The NBA draft last night wrapped up, and the Buffs made history. This is the third time in NBA draft history that the Buffs have had 3 selections. The other 2 times were 1981 and 1955, but neither of those classes had all 3 players in the top 60.
Pretty special, man.
KJ goes 42nd to the Hornets.
Charlotte, yeah. So happy for those guys, man. Cody obviously coming in first one and done in school history,
Yeah.
I believe. I think Chauncey was 2 and done. And then Tristan, a guy who Tad kind of called his shot on, obviously had a little bit of something to go off with his brother, who was an all Pac-12 player. Might have even been Pac-12 player of the year one year. But a guy who was a huge project. And this is where, like, I get so mad about people talking down on Tad Boyle. Like, this guy has consistently turned 3-star recruits into NBA players.
Yep. 10 NBA draft picks now.
One after another. And I mean, like, so I think Alec Burks was kind of a blue chipper. Andre Robertson was not. He was another kind of like late. He was like a late gem at the end of the class that no one else had taken at that point.
Yeah.
Spencer Dinwiddie, 3-star recruit. Derek White, 0-star recruit. Now, obviously, he's a transfer, which changes it a little bit. You got to see that he was a baller. You know, I think he scored 50 points in a game at UCCS. But this guy, sure, would we like to see Sweet 16s? We would. Mm-hmm. You know, you ran into Marquette this year. They basically played a perfect game and beat you, and then like the next game they didn't look anything like that.
Right.
The point being, CU's never had stuff like this, and Tad Boyle just continues to put players in the NBA, and I think it's really cool, and I'm so happy for these guys, and as happy as I am for the other 2, the most happy for KJ.
Same, man.
Just, you know, a little undersized, a guy who's always been told, you know, you're just not quite there yet.
Yeah.
And for him to be able to become an NBA draft pick, and I think a player who's going to end up succeeding in the NBA, just really cool. The video of him tearing up with his parents tearing up hit me hard. But I just love that guy. He's an absolute dog, a true Buff, a legend. And I'm very, very happy that he will always have that moment that he got in March Madness this year. It's like, there's been a lot of good players who have come and gone through Colorado during the Tad Boyle era. And honestly, McKinley, who I loved, never got that. And I remember when they lost to Oregon State in the finals of the Pac-12 championship in that year, I was just like, man, like that would have been McKinley's thing. You know, like they won the Pac-12 tournament with him, and that would have just been like his moment. Everyone remembers it. Everyone has that picture in their mind. He didn't get it. KJ gets a buzzer beater in March Madness. Like you could probably see like 1 pixel of that picture for the rest of time, and you'll be like, I know exactly what that is.
Exactly.
So I'm happy he got that, and I'm really, really happy he's getting his chance. I was kind of hoping when the Nuggets then traded a point guard to the Hornets.
I know, dude.
I saw the first line of that, and I was like, I thought he would be coming back.
And then when Reggie gets traded and Woj tweets it out that the Nuggets are getting 3 second-round picks back, I was like, oh, my God. Like, we can make this happen.
I know. Sad.
So, yeah, quick recap. Cody to Utah at 10th overall. Of course, there's been a lot to say about Cody just because of the injuries and stuff and how this last year went. Probably not to anyone's, ideal circumstances how the season went for Cody Williams, but he still goes 10th overall. He's going to be a very versatile player out there on a young team. Tristan Da Silva goes to Orlando at 18. That's another young and kind of long team too. So we'll see how he fits in.
Obviously, Tristan has German roots too, and there's a lot of German influence on that team, which is cool.
And then KJ, as we just said, to New Orleans. Shout out KJ, man. That was awesome to see.
Goes to Charlotte.
Yes.
You said New Orleans, I think.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
They did used to be the New Orleans Hornets.
Between. Oh, I did write down New Orleans. It's my bad.
Between the Hornets, the Pelicans, the Bobcats.
It's ridiculous.
Wasn't there another one at some point that I'm forgetting? I don't know. There's a lot of change in those basketball teams that makes it confusing.
The Hornets in New Orleans at one point too?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, okay.
And then I think they moved to Charlotte.
Yeah.
When the Bobcats left. Who knows?
Who knows? What I do know about is Vestable, the cool new investing app that allows you to earn money alongside your favorite athletes as you watch them grow and become some of the best players in the league. They've partnered with Denver Broncos outside linebacker Baron Browning, who's coming into a contract year. Guy's got a lot of potential. He's had a lot of flashes. He's dealt with injuries, dealt with position changes, but he's in for a big year. The Broncos pass rush is in for a big year too. A lot of guys who could blow up there. But Baron Browning, if he earns a massive contract this offseason, you could earn money alongside him with Vestable. Just download the app and invest in his IPO. It's live right now. Shares are available for purchase, but they are limited, so go download the Vestable app now and invest. Just a cool way to for fans to get invested. You know, we buy jerseys, we buy trading cards, we buy all these things. Why not buy something that could actually bring you some money back?
Absolutely. And finally, shout out to Circus Sportsbook. We're 2 weeks out?
Less than
2 weeks out?
We'll be a week on Monday, bro.
Wow. All right. We're 10 days away from being back with our friends at Circa, and I'm officially ready.
Are you?
Ready to go back.
I'm not.
I heard you and Alyssa, I was like in a meeting or something. I heard you and Alyssa like from the side talking about like, it's okay, we're just there for work, we can take it easy. I was like, who the hell do they think they are? Anyways. I was like, that's never happened. No one's ever done
hilarious. You heard that.
Anyways, we're going back to Circa. We love Circa. And when you can't be at Circa in person, you can get a little taste of Circa with the Circa Sportsbook app. They have the best odds because they hand make them and they don't, come up with all the little gimmicks and gadgets to get you to bet on other stuff. They're just for sports bettors. If you're just there to get the best odds and make the most money when you win, Circa Sports Colorado is the best. So download the Circa Sports app at circasports.com. Circa Sports bets can only be placed while physically in the state of Colorado. Must be 21 or older. All rights reserved. Circa Sports encourages you to gamble responsibly. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER or visit problemgamblingcolorado.org. Had a nice big gambling win yesterday.
Did you?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Nathan
Shout out Nathan McKinnon
to win the Hart Trophy. Got it at plus 900 before the season. Mm-hmm. Feels good. The amount of money I've made off of Colorado athletes winning MVPs is quite nice.
Yeah, you've really nailed that market.
Yeah, I really have. Also, no jinx, but I have Akshay Bhatia to win the Rocket Mortgage Classic this week. When I left for work this morning, he was the solo leader through 2 rounds. So there we go. Yes.
Did you hear about Dre's hit?
Still in first place. He's got a 2-stroke lead going into the weekend.
Did you hear about what Dre hit?
No.
So let's go back to the NFL draft. Remember, he had Penix at 8th overall, right? That was like 40-1 or whatever it was. For the NBA draft, he took Zach Edey to be drafted 9th overall, plus 2,800.
And it hit?
So it hit. And I told him, we need your 10th overall pick for the NHL draft.
Yes. Yes. Great call. Dude, one of my buddies, shout out B-Bads, you guys have seen him on the show.
Yeah.
He got the personal triple crown. He won. He picked the winner of the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont Stakes, and the Preakness.
Does he not get like enshrined in like?
He should.
Like what the hell?
He got the personal betting Triple Crown. And he did the exact same. He followed the exact same formula for all three. On the golf course, couple drinks deep, an hour before the race, just whatever name.
Wow.
Just all vibes picks.
I aspire to be like our friend B-Bads.
Yeah, legend. Can I give one more NBA draft take? This might be unpopular.
Go for it, man.
We are all in agreement that, quote unquote, it's all about who you know, right?
Yes. Yeah.
We've all, like, as a society, we've just come to terms with that.
Yep.
It's all about who you know. We also, I think, neither of us have kids. Neither does Yaya. But I think that it's like a generally accepted belief that, like, the best, like, one of the goals for most people in life is to create a great life for their children.
Right.
Why is it so frowned upon when the person that you know is your parent? And why is it frowned upon when that parent does everything that uses what they've worked so hard for to help their child?
Very relevant to the show too, with those words.
I think it's so weird that I don't know. I feel like we're creating a block in our mind. We've already decided it's all about who you know.
Right.
Why? But not if it's your parent.
Well, especially if it's your parent. That's when people get really upset, though.
But that's the opposite, though, because if your parent knows someone at another company who helps you get a job, I don't think anyone really cares about that.
No, of course not.
But for some reason, without that 1 degree of separation, it becomes like problematic.
Yep.
I don't know.
I
think parents should be celebrated for creating the best possible situation for their kids.
Shout out Bronny, man. He's been through a lot of shit. Like,
I have a counter take to that.
Go ahead.
I think the reason that people actually dislike it more, it's because sometimes it takes away from other people that are trying to get that same opportunity. And I agree with you.
But
like,
that's just how the world is. Like,
it is, but like people want an idealistic world. So it's very hard to like get it. You wish that it was based off merit, like everybody does. So like when it's very obvious and in your face, that's when people get more upset, I think.
Here's my recounter to that. My counter to your counter is that no one wants to be a late second round pick in the NBA draft. And whoever the Lakers would have taken just ended up signing a free agent contract with someone else. And it's not like Bronny wouldn't have at least done that. So there are certain situations, but then like I also think like I remember when I was a kid, and this is a different situation, but like Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. playing together was like so celebrated.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the opposite. Is Ken Griffey was the number 1 overall pick, and then Ken Griffey Sr. like signed as a free agent on like a minimum contract just to go play with his son. But you guys know I'm anti-Lakers everything. Mm-hmm. I'm putting that aside here to just be like, I think this is actually really cool, and people are missing that because, you know, the whole like nepotism argument.
It's crazy. All we heard about this draft is it's the weakest draft ever, blah, blah, blah. But the Lakers can't use the 55th out of 60th pick on LeBron's son. Someone in the comments says Bronny hasn't went through anything. That's crazy.
That is very crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really cool. I hope they like are on the floor together. I think that is something that'll be really cool. I also think it's remarkable that LeBron has been in the league long enough to now play with his son, who he had while he was already in the league.
The pictures of them when like LeBron's just entering the league and Bronny's like literally 2 or 3 are crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's very crazy.
Someone in the comments said that Bronny is the Jamal stopper.
Okay, we can stop now.
I'd love to see him try. Anyways, yeah, I think it's weird just because it's the opposite of us agreeing that it's all about who you know. Like that phrase gets repeated like 100 times a day in the business world.
Right.
And then it's like, but it can't be your parents.
Yes.
Weird.
Let's play fill in the blank. There's some NBA draft questions in here. Oh, you're kidding me. Yeah. All right, what do we got?
Ooh, fill in the blank.
So we talk a lot about who finishes first and who's going to win and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And all we hear about is CU's going to suck. They're going to finish last. This nonsense. Who do we actually think is going to finish last in the Big 12? Fill in the blank. Blank will finish last in the Big 12 in 2024.
I'm between a couple.
Yep.
Cincinnati?
So I think they finished last year, right?
I think so too. And then maybe Baylor.
Baylor is in a weird spot. Aranda's on the hot seat. They've got like 3 quarterbacks that we don't know who's going to start. Kind of the same with Cincinnati too, actually. Baylor is a Texas team, though. Do you give them an edge for that? Just recruiting wise, like, are they just going to be an overall deeper team because of that?
Yeah, I mean, you would expect them to have a advantage, but then like another candidate that people are talking about for last place is Houston, and maybe I should have them here just because their roster really got picked apart.
It got ravaged, and they lost their head coach, I think, right? Or they gained Willie Fritz. Sorry.
Yep. So they got Willie Fritz, but man, it just felt like everywhere I looked, someone somewhere, including the Buffs, was adding another Houston transfer.
Yeah.
And for some reason I like Houston. I don't know. I always have.
The Case Keenum teams are fun.
Yeah, they're like. Didn't they also have Derek King?
Yes, that's where he came from.
King. Yeah, he was. I loved watching him.
Yeah, he was fun at Miami.
So maybe I just have a soft spot for them. But maybe the more that I think about it, they had 30 departures, and obviously not all departures are created equal. We know that as well as anyone.
Right.
But it just did feel like it was like, oh, Kansas is adding a Houston transfer. Colorado's adding a Houston transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's adding a Houston transfer. So I worry about their roster a little bit. So maybe I'll put it between them and Cincinnati.
I'll take Cincinnati again. When Luke Fickell left, I think they really haven't recovered from that at all. They haven't recruited well. They don't have a quarterback. I don't think they have any playmakers really either. So,
all right.
Someone asked what was
Good
Baylor's
fill in the
record.
blank, by the way.
Thank you. Someone asked what was Baylor's record last year. They were 3-9 as well as Cincinnati. Houston went 4-8, but Cincinnati went 1-8 in the Big 12, which put them in last.
And what Baylor won 2 games.
Baylor won 2 games. BYU won 2 games, and Houston won 2 games.
I think that BYU's coach is too good for them to be that bad again.
That is true. I mean, he's kind of like flying under the radar now after, there was some hype around 4 or 5 years ago with the Zach Wilson and all that stuff, but it's really changed since.
Well, what is it? What was Coach Prime's phrase? You either get elevated or terminated.
Yep.
And we've seen it. We've seen it with him, and then also Matt Campbell at Iowa State. It's like you're on this upward trajectory, and you're gonna have big opportunities. And if you pass up on them, there's a chance that the shine just wears off. And both of those guys not being mentioned in the same conversations they were 2-3 years ago.
No doubt. Next one, Yaya. What do we got? Oh, here we go. So some of the new ones. C will have blank draft picks make the NBA All-Rookie team this year. Of course, it's 3 of them. Are you going clean sweep at 3?
How many players make the All-NBA rookie team?
Well, 5 for first team. I don't know how deep it goes.
And probably there's 2 teams, so there's 10. I'll say 1.
Are you going with Cody or who?
If I had to pick one,
there is a second and just a second team.
I think that I've been steadfast in my take that KJ will have the best NBA career out of these guys, but I don't think it's going to be a journey for KJ.
Yes.
In the same way it honestly was a little bit for Derek White. It was for Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer got traded multiple times early in his career. He just kind of had to grind his way through it before he finally found his groove.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the case for KJ too. It's like maybe he gets that opportunity with Charlotte and just ends up balling there, but I think he's going to have to bounce around a little bit before someone finds him and he fits the perfect role. If I'm placing money on one of these guys to make it, I would say Tristan. He, to me, has a pro-ready game, pro-ready scorer. He could, average, 13 points a game or something.
For sure. I'll say 2. I think that Cody and Tristan will make it. I think Cody, it's just so easy for him to find a role just because of, well, obviously he's very young, but he can kind of play like 1 to 4 basically, depending on the lineup or who's out there, you know? So he can fit in where need be.
It's kind of crazy that the Utah Jazz in the last, I guess, 10 to 12 years have taken 2 number 10 players from Colorado with a top 12 pick who both kind of like looked similar in like their body type coming out.
Yep.
And one of our Broncos fans, who's also a Jazz fan, was telling me like, dude, everyone loved Alec. Like, we're excited about this. So that's cool.
Next one, yeah. Blank will be the breakout freshman for Colorado in 2024. And I thought about putting like except so-and-so here. But if you want to pick Seton, go ahead.
I look at breakout as more like off the radar to on the radar.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't pick Jordan as much as I think he's just going to have a very strong and solid season. I'm going to say I'm going to just stick with mindset here, and I'm going to go with Michael Welch. I just feel like he doesn't even think he's a freshman.
I completely agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he kind of just, he carries himself with such a business-like attitude that it's just like, I don't think he's thinking like, oh man, I'm really drinking from the fire hose here. I have to go to class and go to practice. He kind of just like, I'm here to work.
Yep.
And
That's literally
this,
it.
Like, I'm not overwhelmed by anything because this is just what I do.
I agree. I think he'd be my pick too, but since you picked him, I'll just throw out Cam Michael. We talk about, replacing Dylan and all that, like speed out of the backfield. I think it's easy to design some touches up for him.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about returning the ball in terms of kick returns. We assume LeJounte is going to be punt returner. But if anyone outside of Jimmy Horn, I guess, I'd see Cam Michael being the primary returner for this team this year.
That's sick. He's actually the primary returner for my Madden team right now.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
I got him in the latest draft.
That's wild to me. You're playing Madden NFL football with recruits just coming into high school.
I actually
or college.
Last draft. This is our last season of this Madden, so the last draft didn't really mean much. So I just I just set my board to just all of the Colorado players who were in it. So
Of course.
I got Cam, Micah, Draylon, basically that whole freshman class. The only one I didn't get was Seton because he went before my pick.
How high did he go? Top 10?
I don't know. I wasn't actually at this draft. So my pick was 7th. I traded for it, obviously.
Yeah.
And he was gone by the time I got it. But I did get Williams, Nwaneri.
Nwaneri, yep.
Nwaneri. He's balling.
He's a monster, bro. A lot of people have him as a immediate impact freshman.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying Brandon Hood in the chat, in the Toyota chat. Next one, Yaya.
Also, a lot of people talking about a tweet from Coach Box.
Yeah, I'll send it to Yaya here.
Okay.
Fill in the blank, RK. The player I'm looking forward to talking to the most at Big 12 Media Day is...
Are we counting Colorado players?
Throw out your Colorado player, then throw out someone else.
Okay. I'm most looking forward...
Coach or coach, too. It doesn't have to just be players.
Okay, well, then I'm most looking forward to talking to Coach Prime.
Well, okay. No Colorado, then.
All right, let's see. Who am I most looking forward to on other teams who I'm confident will be there? Coach. Who are some other... If we have our own table, I would be interested in talking to Kenny Dillingham. He seems like he would be fun. Obviously, we've seen him on some of the PHNX shows, and he seems like a fun chat. Mike Gundy, just because he's so weird.
Room Chargers is my pick.
There's no way Dylan's coming.
You don't think so?
No,
All right.
I don't think so. Maybe.
I think he'll be there.
You think they're putting him as one of their 2 most notable players on the team?
who else would you pick? It's the Avery Dillon thing. That's why he went back. They're
Most
boys.
teams like to do a one offense, one defense.
Right.
So I would, whoever their defensive captain is, and Avery Johnson. That would be my guess.
We'll get to it. I'm excited to talk to Gus Malzahn.
You're on the Gus bus.
I've been on the Gus bus. If you listen to the draft pod for the last 4 years, you would know that.
Do you?
What?
If Dylan is there,
Yeah.
and we're getting everyone like we did at Pac-12 Media Days,
Yeah.
that would be a fun conversation.
Yes, it will be.
But I don't think he's going to be there.
Last one. Yes. What do we got? Colorado will finish blank in the overall 2025 recruiting rankings, transfers and recruits.
Well, they're going to get Juju, in my opinion. And so I'm going to say they finish. Did I have to put an exact number on this?
Yeah, just throw something out. They finished 22 last year.
5th.
Love it. Love it.
All right, let's see this box tweet.
Throw up the box tweet. Yeah. What does that look like?
It looks like an old. Who's the poet?
This is literally in the facility.
It is.
I think it's the opposite way, but it's in the facility. It says "Stay right" when the crowd goes left.
Ah. Well, this is going left when the crowd goes right.
Yeah.
What is it? 2 roads diverged in a wood.
I have no
And
idea
I
what you're
took
saying
one
right now,
less
bro.
traveled. Two
Two-
paths diverged in a wood. Anyways,
I'll find it.
I gotta be honest. This could very well be nothing.
Sure. This could be just Coach Box, how he feels about himself.
Exactly. But it also obviously would fit very well with Juju
We
Lewis.
know what this is about. Come on.
You think so? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's got to be about Juju.
Okay.
This is what this whole thing has been about, was doing your own thing, not taking the conventional path, not going to Lincoln Riley, not going to an SEC, maybe not a blue blood, but a very good program in Auburn. This is about taking a chance on an upstart program that you could be given the keys to and that you can run for the next 3 to 4 years and take it to the highest level. That's what that tweet is about.
Hell yeah. Robert Frost.
There you go.
2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
There you go.
Honestly, a great thing to have on a wall somewhere here in this office.
A lot of people in the comments saying he tweeted this out before Jordan Seaton's commitment too.
No way.
Go look through the media.
Let's see. When did Jordan?
That would be
January?
no. That'd be December, like 10th-ish.
He tweets this a lot.
Does he really?
He tweeted it July 5th, 2022, July 7th, 2022.
Okay, well he's not at Colorado.
He tweeted it November 2nd, 2023. Is that
November. I think that's when Jordan visited. Oh no, I think that might be about Cam actually. Cam Michael.
okay? Let's see if there's any other times. Those are the times that he's tweeted it. See if he tweeted it before that.
There's a Robert Frost statue on campus.
That's crazy. And still no Bill McCartney. Unbelievable.
One day. They do have a statue of Robert Frost.
Is that the one by the library? Or by
I'm looking it up right
on
now.
Norland? It's like sitting on a bench. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
It's wild how some things just fall into place like that.
We should trace what commits Vanderbilt got in 2022 after he sent these.
So that was Jordan's visit. That was his official game visit before November 2nd.
Baby. All right. I like this. What's in the box?
What's in the box? We've barely talked Juju today. Let's talk. We've got 5 minutes to kill. Oh, we do have comments. I forgot about those. All right, real quick then. When do you think we get a decision?
I think there'll be a decommitment first,
Okay.
and I think that could happen soon.
Time frame, like around media day, maybe next week even. It's the 4th of July. Coaches are going out of town. Everyone's kind of taking the week off. It's the last break before the season.
Before August 1st.
Okay. All right, let's do run through these questions. Artem, super chats first then. F them, whack ass Chiefs. I bet 1,500/CU to make the playoffs. Let's go.
Let's go.
The Cape Crusader says, I knew people hated Colorado, but I had no idea how much hate they had for Colorado until these CFB 25 rankings. My goodness, Twitter. It's been crazy, hasn't it?
It's been so crazy, but I am not at all surprised by the hate. We've gotten used to it now.
I got so many bookmarks, I had to sort them into folders.
That's actually such a great idea. Every time I hit it, it says, do you want to add to a folder?
Yep.
And I'm like, no. But I should have because I have a lot of memes in there too.
Yeah.
So it should be like something good happened, something funny happened,
Right,
something
right,
bad
right.
happened. Shador draft bad takes, Colorado record bad takes.
Yep. I have a folder that just has the clown emoji.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. I need some free time. I'm going to do that next time.
Yeah, you're telling Jake that he has too much free time.
No, you just use mine on the golf course.
It's also June. I'm very bored.
Need this college football video game.
yeah.
Early release, guys. Come on.
ASAP. Shout out to Brian with the 199 super chat. Thank you, bro. A few from Artemis real quick. What do you think will happen when CU goes to 5-0? What do you think what do I think will happen?
Mass chaos and confusion.
I still think we're going to be hated on at that point.
Well, we all know that the goalposts will move until there's nowhere else to move them.
For sure.
And the only place that you can't move the goalposts is past the national championship, which is obviously a really hard place to get to.
Yep.
But the point being, if they go 5-0, they'll just be saying, well, they're not going to go 6-0. And, who'd they even play? Nebraska sucks.
right.
And we'll be like, we know. We've been telling you that for a decade.
Yes. Jesse with the question, how many CU players have 1 year of eligibility? At the top, Yaya.
You didn't read the last one. You got two.
What last one?
Artemis had two. You read both? I lost it anyway.
Oh,
You're killing me. Sorry, Artemis.
How am I killing you? I do the right
Because
thing.
you're doing the questions differently than Alyssa does it.
We're all different. I'm sorry.
Jesse asked, how many CU players have 1 year of eligibility? Quite a few. I'd say 20 to 30-ish. This will be their last year of college football.
Yeah. Sounds about right. By the way, just really quick, has anyone talked about it being kind of weird that Dylan Raiola is like cosplaying as Pat Mahomes?
It's the Mahomes generation, bro.
It's kind of weird, dude.
It is weird. Doesn't give me great vibes. The only dub ace. When was the last time y'all were this amped about CU football? Never for me.
I mean,
Yeah.
last year we ended up each predicting I think 6 wins. And so like it was so exciting obviously.
Yeah,
But
of
we
course.
knew there was so much work to do.
And there was many more levels to get to, and I think we cleared a few of those levels this offseason.
Absolutely. This year is definitely on a different level. I would say it's probably the most excited I've been since the very, very early 2000s. And
Hell yeah.
like even back then, you didn't have two top 5 picks on those teams.
Yeah. Someone mentioned the basketball team. We'll do this probably pretty soon, a basketball recap, but they did lose a lot, so we'll see. But
And they're really calling their shot on some lower level transfers being big time players.
Yep. Cam asked, do you think with Farrakhan being crystal ball to CU and with Chauncey Gooden commit, does that make you think that the players know something about Juju? I didn't see the Quinnell thing.
Yeah, I think there is a crystal ball out there for him. I don't know. I would say that those guys probably making their decisions on their own. But if they were to know something about Juju, it would certainly help.
I don't see a
Okay.
Quinnell crystal ball. Maybe it's an on-3 one.
It could be.
And then what was the last one there? I missed it. Or is that the last one?
That was last one.
Buffs News Weekly in the chat says, did you see the cringy NDSU video? They just deleted it. Yes, I did.
Wait,
you
they
see
had
it?
to delete a video?
Oh, bro. It was bad.
Was it as bad as the Kansas State, whatever they call that thing, Power Cat thing from the 2000s, the early 2000s?
Maybe not that cringe, but it was pretty bad.
Okay.
If someone still has it, by chance, send it to me.
They also had a really cringy
RK.
like recycling video at Kansas State where they used that weird ratty mascot.
That's wild. I don't know. Whatever they threw up there on Twitter yesterday was
Wait.
interesting.
It had something to do with Colorado?
No, it was just they didn't make it personal yet. But it was like, are you hyped for week 1? Like, we hope to do many more of these tunnel entrances, and it's like, I think the quarterback's like walking up, just dapping up everyone, handshaking everyone, and they're all following behind him out the tunnel. There's one guy with a boom box on his shoulder and stuff. Like,
So they like simulated a game day
a tunnel walkout.
and like
yes.
acted.
Yes. Even though week 1 is on the road.
That is weird.
All right. We're being told we
We're
have to
getting the
leave.
hook right now.
Yeah. We're being kicked off the air.
Trust me, I would have ended it a minute ago if I could.
This was a great week of the show, though. I
It
really
was.
enjoyed it.
Absolutely great week. Also, great Friday vibes on today's show.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that much as well.
Neely will be back next week. We will be 4 shows next week. We'll take Thursday off with the 4th. We'll see you on Monday. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.